Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome, and I hope you enjoy this recipe. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. So today we're going to be making macaroni and cheese. This is a delicious, easy recipe. It's a guaranteed to be a hit at any family dinners, reunions, potlucks. So let's get to it. So now we're going to grate our cheese. So you can use the same cheeses I used, or feel free to use whatever cheese you'd like. Just make sure in the description below I have the amount of cheese, the amount of cups that you would need. So just make sure you have that amount. And a lot of people ask me why I use block cheese instead of pre-shredded cheese. And it's really simple. Pre-shredded cheese just has this coating of preservatives that doesn't allow it to melt as smoothly. And I just find that the block cheese has a better taste, a better kick to it. Okay, so now we're moving on to boiling our noodles, and I'm using equal parts water and equal parts chicken broth and a little pinch of salt. That's just going to help the pasta hold a flavor. So while the noodles are boiling, we're going to start our roux for our cheese sauce. And so to make a roux, you need equal parts butter and equal parts flour. So I'm using 1/4 cup of butter, and I'm just going to melt that down until it's completely melted. And then I'm going to add my flour into the butter. So now I'm adding 1/4 cup of flour, and I'm going to need a whisk in order to get it all incorporated. So I'm using a whisk to get it all mixed in together. And then once that's mixed in, again, I'm using medium-high heat. Don't want to turn it up too high because you'll burn your roux. So I'm using medium-high heat, and then I'm going to add in my either, like I said before, you can use heavy cream or you can use milk. In this instance, I use both heavy cream and milk. I don't show me adding the milk, but I used in milk, and that's going to help it kind of incorporate together. And so if it seems like it's clumpy or anything like that, just add some more milk or more heavy cream. And this whole time you're keeping an eye on your noodles. You want to make sure those don't overcook. And so once the sauce gets to a point where you're happy with it, whether that's thick or thin, you want to start adding your seasoning. So I'm using garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, and a little bit of paprika. And I'm just going to mix that in. I'm turning my heat down to low. And this way, I'm turning my heat down, I can work on my noodles because my noodles are done at this point. And this is about 8 minutes. So my noodles, I'm going to drain those. Let those drain, and then I'm going to use the other half of my butter. So the other 1/4 cup of butter, I'm going to add those to my noodles. And I'm going to just mix that butter in with my seasonings, garlic powder, onion powder, salt and pepper. I'm just going to mix that in. That gives the noodles a little bit more flavor because, again, noodles have absolutely no flavor unless you add it. So I'm going to add in my 1/2 cup of sour cream and mix that in together. I'm just going to set that aside, and then I'm going to finish my roux, or my cheese sauce, So to make your cheese sauce, once everything's fully incorporated, you want to start adding 1 handful of cheese, mixing it in until it's melted, and then adding another handful. Very important to leave half of the cheese that you grated for the topping or for the filling of your macaroni. and just making sure that it's fully melted before I add anything else. So my cheese sauce at this point is done. I'm going to add my shallots and my green onions, and I'm just going to mix that in together. And look at that. Ooh, ooey gooey. And so once that's fully melted, I'm going to add in my macaroni 1/3 at a time. So I'm going to add it, mix it in, make sure it's fully incorporated, and then add the next batch, mix it in, make sure it's fully incorporated. And you want to make sure you get all those crevices. Oh, when I tell you guys, it smells so good. So good. And so you're adding in the rest of your macaroni and just mixing that, making sure it's fully incorporated, and then you're going to assemble it. All right, everybody. So that wasn't too bad, no? So now that we're done with putting our macaroni into the roux, we're going to put it in the pan and assemble it. So if you have an aluminum pan or any type of baking sheet will do. I'm just taking a little bit of vegetable oil or olive oil in this case, and I'm just going to rub it all over my pan, make sure nothing sticks. And then we're going to assemble it. So how I do it, I always add extra cheese. First, we're going to put the cheese down. And I'm not putting a really thick layer, just a real thin layer of cheese, like that. And so now we're going to add our macaroni. This is so heavy. All right, so we're just going to layer it up. Macaroni. Ooh, if it don't make that sound, it's nasty, but if it don't make that sound, it ain't good. I know y'all hear that. So thin layer down. Keep adding a little bit more. Look at that. And we're just going to keep assembling it until it reaches the top. So what I like to do also when I'm assembling it, after the layer of macaroni, I like to add a little bit of paprika. So a little bit, and then we're just going to keep repeating that process. More cheese. And then macaroni. This smells so good, you guys. And as you can see, I did grate a lot of cheese. Don't be alarmed. It is a lot, but I mean, it's macaroni, so. All right. Paprika. Cheese. Okay, we're reaching the top. And I forgot to mention in the beginning, but make sure you have foil, because you're going to need foil for the top of it. Just for about 15 minutes in the oven. All right, this is the last layer. We're going to pack it on. This is a lot of macaroni, oh my goodness. So we're going to push this down because this is a lot. Oh, but it smells so good. I can't get over the sound though. All right, so now that we packed it to the top, we're going to add a little bit, the rest of our cheese. Well, not the rest of it. Depending on how much you have, I have a lot left. Probably not going to use all of it because that would be a little bit too much. So we're just going to sprinkle that over the top. Actually, you know what? I did use all of it. That's okay. And the reason why I like to shred my own cheese is because I find that the block cheese melts better than the pre-shredded cheese. But honestly, it's your preference if you want to use already shredded cheese. So we're going to add our final paprika right on the top here. And then just for garnish, I like to add green onions. You don't have to because it's already inside the macaroni. But I find that it adds extra flavor and it looks cute. So now that I did that, I'm going to add the foil on top of the macaroni and we're going to put it in the oven on 350 degrees. We're going to do this in 15-minute increments and then check it. Total cooking time, I would say about 40 minutes or so, but it's going to spend some time, about 2 minutes under the broil without the foil. So just going to cover that up and pop it in the oven. I'll see you back in a little bit. Hey guys, we are finished with this recipe. It looks and smells amazing. I cannot wait to cut into it, but before I do, I just wanted to let you guys know that I love cooking this with you guys. I hope it turned out great for you. If you have any questions, comments, if you made any type of alterations, just comment, let me know below. And as always, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel at Pretty Face Mary, and make sure to follow me on Instagram at Pretty Face Mary with an I at the end. Thank you guys. Enjoy. See you next week. Kind of hot. You should get a big scoop, girl.
Thumbs up.
Just. Let me see. It's so weak. Look at that. Look at that. Bro. No, I'm serious. This might be the best one I've ever made.
Cat!
Let him try it. Give him a bite.
Let me taste this.
Cameron. What?
Yeah,
That's fire. Oh my god, that's fire.
That's the bomb.
If I have to, I don't have a fork. Mmm.